Security is sacrosanct because it takes care of people's lives. When there is breakdown of law and order, then there are no development. We all are charged to ensure that we'll develop security consciousness and be security aware of our environment and report any suspicious movement to the law enforcement agency. Today, you may not be a victim, but if you don't report, you never can tell. Maybe you may become a victim tomorrow. So endeavor that at any time you suspect any movement, anybody, please report to the law enforcement agencies so that they can take care of the situation. Welcome to your program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. Today is actually a mixed feeling for me. It's an emotional day because we lost an illustrious son of Africa, a son here, Ghana, son of Ghana, but a son of Africa because he's an exemplary leader. He was an exemplary leader, talking about Flight Lieutenant John Jerry Rawlings, the former head of state and president of the Republic of Ghana, the motherland. Really, it's a sad news. It was a sad news when we got about it. We, Security Watch Africa, has very cordial relationship with J.J. Rawlings, and he was an inspiration to all of us here in Security Watch Africa. Our hearts is saddened by that bad news, by the sad news, but we believe that he lived a life that is worthy of emulation, and those who are alive will follow suit to ensure that his legacies do not die. Nobody can forget Jerry Rawlings in a hurry at all. Even the yet unborn children in Africa will always remember about Jerry Rawlings. Today, we will be looking at his life a bit with our country coordinator in Ghana, talking about Tony White Meribe, telling us what we can learn from the life and time of Jerry Rawlings. Then we also will be talking with the chief executive of NTV Ghana, talking about Prince Sita Sofo, who will be letting us know how the people of Ghana is feeling about the loss of such an illustrious son of Africa. But that will be after this report from the Nigerian Army on what is happening in Maiduguri. Sit back as we bring you this report.
Since the advent of Boko Haram terrorist adventure in Nigeria, the Nigerian Army has continued to initiate tactics of ensuring that these terrorists are dealt with decisively. As part of the renewed strategy, civilian joint task force were inducted into the final onslaught against Boko Haram and its associate, the Islamic State in West African province, ISWAP, with large number of motorcycles for easy access into difficult terrains. The flag-off, which was held at the Civilian Joint Task Force Super Camp in Cheba Village in Konduga Local Government Area of Borno State, had the Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Toko Yusuf Buratai, and the Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, in attendance.
It's also my honor and privilege to welcome our own, the Chief of Army Staff himself, Lieutenant General Toko Yusuf Buratai, to this important occasion, which is the operationalization of the civilian JTF Super Camp here in Chobal and the launching of the third batch of the wanted Boko Haram terrorists. So the Super Camp concept is known and the exploits therefrom are manifest. But what is even new this morning is the step further the Chief of Army Staff is taking the concept to by incorporating the civilian JTF into it so that he can harvest and harness the skill and competencies of these elements, particularly in terms of their knowledge of the terrain and the environment, which are essential ingredients in a battle of this type, insurgency. I believe they will even become handy in identification of some of these Boko Haram terrorists who are going to launch today, and many others also that are not even captured there their skill and competence will become handy.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the benefits of the municipal.
To further strengthen the Civilian Joint Task Force, Governor Zulum, while commending effort of the military in the fight against insurgency, announced the donation of additional 100 motorcycles for the operation of the Civilian Joint Task Force.
We must commend the effort of the Nigerian Army under the distinguished leadership of the Chief of Army Staff for this very important event. Government, under my leadership, will continue to support the Nigerian military. Will continue to support the civilian JTF hunters and vigilante and boyers with a view to supplementing your roles. I also wish to make a special donation of additional 100 motorcycles to the Nigerian Army. The 100 motorcycles should be given to you immediately by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in order to complement this your gigantic action.
In its resolve to flush out Boko Haram elements, the Nigerian Army equally released a poster containing 86 Boko Haram wanted persons. Though some of those on the poster had been on the watch list since 2016, while others were declared wanted for the first time. The Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, pointed out that some of the terrorists that had been declared wanted since 2016 have either been arrested or killed in various operations, while some had been on the run. He therefore called on members of the public as well as the Civilian Joint Task Force to support the Nigerian Army in fishing out remnants of the Boko Haram terrorists.
Out of those so far that have been declared wanted since 2016, we have in various operations, either directly or indirectly, and of course some have even been arrested. Almost 2/3 of those on the initial list have been either eliminated or arrested or captured in that regard. So we request your full cooperation. The public as well as the civilian JTF, you have a copy each to follow up. Some of them may be behind at the back of your yard, at your backyard, in the house or somewhere parading himself in the marketplaces and so on. They must be fished out. And those in the forest, if you encounter them, you make sure you deal with them decisively if they cannot be arrested or cannot be captured. So on this note, we would also like the press to give us the full support to ensure that we have gotten the right solution to ending this menace of the Boko Haram terrorists in our state, in our country, as well as for humanity.
The Army Chief stressed that everybody has a role to play in the fight against insurgency and terrorism.
As we collaborate today, and quoting from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State recently, this counterinsurgency should not be left to the military alone, and its success does not fully lie with the military. And as such, the collaboration with the civil authority as well as the volunteers in this regard, the civilian JTF, is a welcome development.
Shully Daniels, Security Watch Africa, Maiduguri, Borno State.
Welcome back. Just like the Chief of Army Staff just said, it's a responsibility of every one of us to ensure that these enemies of the nation is defeated once and for all. Yes, still in Borno State, Security Watch Africa visited the command headquarters of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and we spoke with the Commandant on what they are doing and how they are contributing towards the fight against insurgency. Sit back as we bring you this report by Peggy AGBEH.
Purposeful leadership is a bedrock of outstanding performance in any organization. The leadership style of the Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Borno State Command, ABDULLAHI IBRAHIM, has led to so many breakthroughs in crime detection, management, and fighting in Borno State, and also endeared the people to the civil defense. One way Commandant Ibrahim have been able to get results from his men is through collective responsibility. In one of Security Watch Africa's visit to Borno State, the team met with the Commandant in an interactive meeting with his officers.
The Corps is working stronger, both at the national, zonal, and command levels. So there is need for us to brace up to work more than ever before. The security challenges bedeviling the state is on the increase, and we cannot shy away from it. From January to date, September in particular had the greatest attack. So we have to confront the monster head on.
In an interview in his office, the Commandant Abdullahi spoke on the essence of regular meetings and some of the outstanding achievements of the command. He spoke further on the synergy between the security services in Borno State and the contribution of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in the fight against insurgency and terrorism.
When I came, I saw the highest level of synergy among security agencies. The military, the police, the DSS, the paramilitary, we work in unison. In fact, I always say it is a role model that other states should come and emulate how we synergize in Borno State, because we feel we are facing a common enemy. This enemy does not distinguish on the uniform, whether you are wearing military camouflage, civil defense uniform, police uniform. They face us head on. So we had no reason not to synergize. And that synergy is what is paying off. And we always feel the pulse of each other. An injury to one is an injury to all of us. I also want to thank the good people of Borno State, because the community resilience is now coming into fruition. They volunteer information, because they are sure that when they expose these bad elements, we won't expose the source of our information. So they are giving us information. Then the other aspect which helps us greatly, civil defense in particular, is the non-kinetic approach to this war. We believe it's not in all cases that boots must be on ground. We are able to reach out to these insurgents in the bush to embrace federal government amnesty, that they should lay down their arms and come out. There's a safe corridor in Gombe State. And some of them came out and surrendered. And we're still working towards that. So while the stick is there, the carrot approach is also there.
It is obvious that when the head is good, the body will function well. Nigeria's security desires a leadership that cares for its personnel, for it to provide proper security of lives and property of its citizens. PEGGY, AGBEH, Security Watch Africa, Borno State.
Yeah, welcome back. Yes, you can see that when the head is good, then the body falls in line and do what is right. Yeah, talking about the late Flight Lieutenant John Jerry Rawlings, it's a sad news. But watch this little report that was done about him, which Security Watch Africa stumbled on, and listen and see what happened about him, how popular he is, how people love him so much.
We should not be making false allegations. However, I'm saying that this is their tendency. Otherwise, how do some African heads have billions, millions of pounds in what you call it, foreign accounts, and you want to ask me for the evidence of their thieving? Yes. Yeah, God bless you. Bye-bye. here. Nothing, makes me sadder than when I can hear a nation like America, because having emerged as the only unipolar superpower, you are obliged to provide leadership, not at the expense of morality. When you undermine it, what you in effect end up doing is that you're setting in motion for other countries, for despots to grow, undermining the culture of democracy. You undermine the culture of democracy. Hello.
We love you, Alice, we love you. We are coming to fight back.
And you know something? If America's first taste of terrorism was on September 11th, I want to tell them, and they know it, and I've been saying it, we in Africa, we've had inflicted on us terrorist regimes for decades. Before the Cold War, during the Cold War, and we thought things would improve after the demise of the bipolar world. Instead, it's gotten worse. We thought that maybe we will now see the human face of capitalism. Do you know what Pope John Paul the late described it? The savagery of capitalism. Let's talk about this subject a little bit more. I'm sorry, am I making sense? I hope so.
Purposeful leadership is
Welcome back. Really, this is a man who is passionate about proper leadership, and like you heard him say there, leadership in Africa had been the major terror we've been having over the years, and we look and aspire for a leadership that will care about the people. You saw the people telling him that they love him because during his time as the president of Ghana, he lived for the people, he worked for the people, and the people loved him so much. And that you can see that years after he have left office, people are still hungering and asking for him to lead them. We'll take a short break, after which we'll continue. Okay. I'm told that we can't go on a break because we already have with me my brother in Ghana, talking about Prince Sital Sofo Hissan. He's the chief executive of one of the leading television channels in Ghana and the whole of West Africa, NTV Ghana. Prince, it's a pleasure to have you. The video we just showed now, was gotten from you. That is credit from you. Let's go quickly. How will you describe the late John Jerry Rawlings?
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. And then thank you for the opportunity this day. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you clearly. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. Thanks for having me. In fact, JJ Rawlings, we call him Papa J for short. As you know, he's one of our ex-presidents and the only president that ruled longer than any president here in Ghana. So we are in a mourning mood. We are in a funeral mood. It officially started yesterday, and then we are having 1 week funeral celebration for the late JJ Rawlings. In fact, he's a leader. And somebody like JJ Rawlings and then Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and co. Mostly, when you are in Ghana, you don't actually know the value of those people unless you go outside Ghana. I remember when I was doing a program with Flo Lumumba, the renowned lawyer from Kenya. We invited to Rwanda. When I got to Rwanda, that I realized that a lot of people have a lot of respect for our late president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now, the same way with President J.J. Rawlings is actually being respected throughout Ghana and even outside Ghana. You know, he's one of the leaders that it will be very difficult to get because he was one of the youngest people who became president at a very early age,
32,
age of
32 years old, yes.
32 years old, yes, he was already head of state. And then he saw that there was a lot of rot in Ghana, which he needed to clear. And then because he was a military man, you know, they are well disciplined. And he was a strict disciplinarian. So he took it upon himself to clear the mess. So we are all humans. And then, but sometimes you have to take certain drastic measures to get certain things done. If not, they will never be done. So we are all, even if you look at the two political parties, major political parties here in Ghana, I'm talking about NDC, which is the leading opposition party. That's the party that he founded. And then when he brought Ghana from the military rule into democratic rule in 1992, that was his party, and he ruled for 2 terms, that is 8 years. So they have stopped their campaign. As at that time, the leader, former President John Dramani Mahama, was in Obuasi. He had to stop his campaign and then come over to Accra. And then also the current president, also Nana Akufo-Addo, who is also running for the current government, the New Patriotic Party, he also had to stop his campaign and also come to come and see the widow in the house. So they are all preparing. As of this morning, I received a message from the NDC campaign manager, Professor Joshua Alabi, that they are going to meet this morning at their national headquarters to start preparation towards the burial of the late president, Jerry John Rawlings.
Now, but specifically, what would you say that lessons we can learn from the life of the late president?
The late president, I would describe him as an elephant. There's this story that people always say, we read when we were young, that 5 blind men went to look at the elephant. And then everybody described the elephant based on which part of the elephant they touched.
Exactly.
One touched the leg and described the elephant as a tree, very big Iroko tree. Then the others touched the other parts, the ears and the other parts, and everybody described it the way he or she felt. Now, J.J. Rawlings, for me, showed our discipline in leadership. Most of what is happening, you know, Ghana is a bit ahead of most African countries because of people like Jerry John Rawlings, because there were a lot of corruption and then a lot of malfeasances going on at the helm of affairs in Ghana. And he saw that if he didn't take the step to stop it, it will never stop. So discipline, he taught us discipline. Discipline at all levels. You know, most of our leaders in Ghana, not only in Ghana, but in the whole of Africa, they are indisciplined because they think they are the law itself. So they cannot be ruled by the laws. And the laws doesn't apply to them, they are immune. So they are indisciplined. And then they do it with impunity. So J.J. Rawlings taught us discipline. Whether you have power, you don't have power, you just have to be disciplined. You know, the next thing he taught us is honesty. Most of our leaders are not honest with our people.
Yeah, exactly.
We are in a campaign season now, and most of the leaders come to tell us things that people want to hear, knowing that they cannot deliver. J.J. Rawlings is not somebody like that.
Okay.
He's an honest person, and then he say and he does as he says.
And it's obvious that people still love him till date.
Exactly.
Okay.
He goes down to the people, he works with them, he dines with them, he understands their problems, he takes steps to change it. So he is very honest.
Okay.
And because he's honest with his people, not like people who come to say, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this for you, that vote me into power. And when they get the power, they go back to sit down. I don't know much about Nigeria, but we are hearing about NSAS, and then, but what we know is some of these things. The politicians make big promises, and when they get the power, they decide not to honor those promises, and they take advantage of the people. But J.J. Rawlings is an honest leader.
Yeah,
every leader in any part of the world can take
Thank you
that
very
from
much.
him.
Thank you. We really appreciate you for your time. Time is not our friend. We'll have loved to continue, but maybe next time we can call you on to contribute on one of the topics. It's our pleasure having you on the program today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was Prince Sita Sofo Hissan, the Chief Executive of NTV Ghana, talking to us about the life of J.J. Rawlings. It's sad that he's gone. Security Watch Africa also mourns him because he touched us and is an inspiration to Security Watch Africa. He was very close to us, giving us advice and suggestions on what to do in talking about Pan-Africanism. But sadly, we've lost him. Yeah, we must go for other programs to continue. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for being part of this program today. Endeavor to join us next week when we'll bring you another exciting program of Security Watch Africa. Until next week, I say bye for now and remain blessed.